Hi guys, welcome to this video. I'm going to call it Noob to Knowledge. I'm going to show you how to play a character, in this instance Ghost Spider, from never having played them before and going from a bit of lack of knowledge to hopefully understanding them a bit better, understanding how they play. It's a fairly easy method to use, and the character I'm using is from the Sinister Motives campaign, which I haven't actually played yet. If you want to see fully what's in her deck, I have done a video unboxing this, and I go through both Ghost Spider's deck and Miles Morales' Spider-Man deck. So you can look through there. And that's a good way to start as well, to get to know your cards. Look through the whole deck and read what all the cards do and where they're at. And then I'll take this to the table and show you how I then look through the rest and set it up to learn how to play them completely. Alright, okay guys, now we're at the table. I've got the Ghost Spider stuff set up, and I've got the Rhino deck that I'll use to learn how to play with. Rhino is the most basic of the enemies, and he's quite easy to play as. If you struggle with your phase orders, then these reference cards that come in the base game, which are obviously double-sided, they're really good. So you could have one of these out. I like to, when I started, I had one blue and one flipped onto the red side so that I could just follow them to get used to how the game plays and how the back and forth of the game is. So these are great for new players. Obviously, once you get past that stage of knowing what you've got to do, you don't need them so much. But again, they're good for reference sometimes, just if you get lost with some cards and when they play and in which order to play them and when to deal your hand out and when to unexhaust people, when to exhaust people and things like that. So it's a really good thing to do. Also, when you get a new character, it's always a good idea to look at their description in the books. This gives you an overview of what kind of things they've got and what they can do. Already here I can see she's got some interruptor responsibilities, and that'll be helpful when she's getting attacked. It tells us about some of her most powerful cards, like this Ticket to the Multiverse, lets her reset a turn. And also when you look at the card, you'll see that that Ticket to the Multiverse allows her to restand any of her Ghost Spider cards that are in play. So if you've exhausted a load of cards, then you can use the Ticket to the Multiverse to get rid of your hand and then unexhaust all of your cards that are out, that are Ghost Spider's cards. So that sounds like it could be really useful to help you do damage and kill things. And then obviously I make the deck up for Rhino out of the basic cards that come in the base box. I use the standard edition cards to go into the encounter deck, and I use the Bomb Scare deck, which is the encounter that's suggested for Rhino anyway at the start of the campaign. Normally I have these all together ready to go in my box because I use them quite a lot for pretty much every new character. And I'll run you through the playthrough. I'll take these cards out. So you need the side scheme and the main boss out. And his side scheme is very simple to do. It's this side scheme. It's pretty much put your stuff in, and then if you get 14 threat on here, you die. It's not a lot to do with the threat, so you're not really focusing on what you do with him, how to defeat him. It's not really too hard to follow what you're meant to do. And of course, make sure your obligation for Ghost Spider also goes into your encounter deck, because that can be difficult if you forget to put it in. And it's always a good idea to read what it says on here. So I know it says, give to a Gwen Stacy player, search your deck, hand, discard pile, and play area for George Stacy. Set him aside, and then attach this obligation to him. So it goes on to George Stacy, which is a bit awkward, and it says, exhaust Gwen Stacy and remove this obligation from the game, and then add George Stacy to your hand. So that actually sounds like it could be useful if you haven't got George Stacy out already. But it does exhaust you and can be annoying. The obligations for some of the characters, they're all fairly similar, but sometimes they can be a little bit different. So we would shuffle them all together and then have them ready to start the game. So I'm going to pan out a little bit so you can see the gameplay and play it through and talk how I play it through. Okay, so now the game's set up. If you need it, then make sure you've got the rule book at your side so you can refer to any things going on and how things work, key concepts and stuff. But once you're used to that, you should be able to then just get into the game and make sure that you're using the character you've chose. And if you don't want to make it too complex for yourself, just start with the deck that's already built for you, like I'm doing here. So she's a protection hero, so she comes with a pre-built protection deck. So that's good, and it's got some spider heroes in it, so they're quite useful to have as well. So it's nice to have them in the pack. So you start off with your hand size of 6. Do yourself 6 cards, and it's not just about playing the game like you normally would and going, oh, these cards are good, these look cool, which is always nice, but you want to be reading through the cards and working out which ones are good, which ones you're going to use, and which ones you think aren't so good. So like for now, obviously I like to play two-handed normally, but when I'm learning a character, I'll do it solo, true solo. This card is a team up card for Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales. So unless I can get a Spider-Man Miles Morales out of my hand, which I think there is one in her deck, that's not going to be too useful for now, because I'd have to get the Spider-Man out, which I don't have at the minute. And then I can heal 3 damage from both, but I'm not going to keep that card just because I don't want it for now. I want to see some of the other cards. The double strengths are always good. This upgrade looks like it's good. It says after you resolve an interrupt or response ability of an event, you exhaust a web bracelet and draw 1 card. So that might be useful to get out. And then you can also have, she's got Spider-Man Hobby Brown, who I don't really know that well actually, but he's a web warrior. So when the Spider-Man leaves play, you discard top 3 cards in your counter deck and deal damage to the villain equals the number of boost symbols gone that way. You have a jump flip, which is a defensive card. When you would take any amount of damage, prevent 2 of that damage. And if you paid for it using an electric resource, you remove 2 threat from the main scheme. That's really good. She's getting rid of damage and threat at the same time, blocking it out. And then this card is what doesn't kill me. It's a hero action. You deal 2 damage from your hero, and then you ready the hero. So heal 2 damage from the hero and ready it. So you can use your hero twice there. So you're like healing up some health and then getting to use your hero twice in 1 round, which once you flip to the other side is good because she's got 2 attack and she's got 3 defense. So you could attack for 4 in 1 round there, or if you've got any boosts on the attack and give it 3, then you could end up with getting 6 in a 1 round there, which is really good. So plus the healing damage as well. That's like an excellent card to have. But right now I've got full health, I don't really need it. So I might mulligan that one out of the game as well. And then see how I do with these 4, so therefore I need another 2 cards. I've got another upgrade, which is the same one. And I've got Across the Spider-Verse, which says you exhaust a web warrior card you control. Then search your discard pile for a web warrior ally and put it into play. Then you choose a player, and that player may spend 3 resources of any type to repeat this. So I could put this in, and I could get a web warrior ally out of the deck and put it in play up here, so I've got an ally out. And I can also get this upgrade out, so I'm going to most probably do that, I think. Or I could get the Spider-Man Hobby Brown out. It looks quite cool. He only does 1 damage though, and he's not got a lot of health. But he does 2 thwarts, so that's good to know. But he takes 2 consequential damage when he does that, so he'll only be able to take 4. And he'll only be able to do 3 damage before he dies, unless you've got a heal on him or anything. So I'm thinking he's not going to be that great, so I'm going to pay for this upgrade. Try and remember that gives me an extra card when I do an interrupt or a response. And now obviously if I want, I haven't got any, I've got this 1 interrupt, which is the jump flip. So if I keep that, then I can guarantee I'll be able to use this. And then if I pay for this Across the Spider-Verse event, which sounds cool, I get to do this, exhaust a web warrior card you control, and search a discard pile for any ally. So if I flip this over and don't do an action with Ghost Spider, I can then do that cool action of looking for a web warrior ally. So I've got to search my discard pile for, oh wait there, see I've not read that properly, so I can't really do that. So, oh yeah I can, there's a web warrior here, this guy, so I've just discarded Spider-Man to pay for something else. So I get to put him into play with my Ghost Spider, and then choose someone else if they want. They can do that as well, spend 3 resources to do it, but I don't have anyone else playing, so it's not worth it. But when I play 2-handed, it might be a useful thing to do. So now I've got him in play, I can then either block with him as well for Ghost Spider, or I can do other stuff. And we've not read this box here for Ghost Spider. Her action is response after you resolve an interrupt or response ability on an event, ready Ghost Spider. So if she's doing one of these kind of interrupts or responses, then she gets to ready herself. So you could defend with her, do a response, flip her back up ready for next round, so she's not taking a lot of damage because she's got 3 defense. And then if you use one of these, she gets to then restand anyway. So she's pretty much guaranteed to not take a lot of damage and then reflip and restand. So she sounds really good. She's definitely got good characteristics for a protection deck, and that will be really cool to use soon. So we'll use one of these for now, do 1 attack damage to Rhino, which will knock him down to 13, and then we'll just see what the cards come out now. So our player order of players, we've unexhaust our cards. We then draw up to our hand size, so we've now got the jump flip, we've got a bait and switch card, which is a hero action. Thwarts removes 4 from the threat. We've got a double genius card. We've got Spider-Man UK, When he defends against an attack, you deal damage to the attacker equal to the number of web warrior cards you control. So if we get him out, we do 3 damage back if anyone attacked when he defended. So that's good, and he's got 5 health. Then we're getting 5 cards because we're on this. So Return the Favour is a hero action, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard a treachery, reveal it, and then deal 5 damage to the villain. So that could be a useful card to use to kill the villain off when he's only got 5 health left, or like now to knock him down to 8 when he's not got loads of health to start with. Oh, and we didn't put threat on the main scheme to start with. So it's got to be 1 for every person in. So then we've got the villain's turn. So the villain will scheme first, depending on what this card says. So it's +1. And it's only got to get to 7 to win. And then the villain will either attack or scheme, depending on what side we're on. So we're on the hero side, so he's going to attack us for 2, plus whatever this boost card gives us, which was nothing. So that gave us 2 damage. So it knocked us down to 8. Now I didn't defend there, which I should have done, because that's what I was planning on doing. So because it's a practice game, I pretend I defended, and then instead of taking the damage, I'll play this card, or was it here, Interrupt? Play this one, the I don't know what to pay for it though. Spy the UK seems really good, so I might try and get him into play in a second. I want him in play, and then I want to use, so it doesn't really matter what else I use to pay for this. So if I pay for the Interrupt, then that would prevent it 2 damage to me, and it would, I paid for it using the lightning card, electric, so that means I could remove 2 threat from the main scheme. That clears that, and that is a fantastic card. And then obviously you've got this upgrade here, which says after you resolve an interrupt or respond ability event, exhaust the web bracelet, which is this, and then that lets you draw another card. So now I've just picked up another one of those jump flip cards. Amazing. So that seems like a great card to use, and one I'll keep for next round. And also after I've resolved an interrupt or response, I get to ready Ghost Spider, so she's back ready to go again next round. So that's really handy. And obviously if I do that next time, when I haven't exhausted her, but I've exhausted her from attacking or something this round, then she'll be able to do some cool stuff. And then we all get an encounter card, there's only one of us, so we're getting Shocker coming in as a minion who's got 3 health. So he will come in and he does 1 damage to each hero when he's revealed, so we take 1 damage. Knocks us down to 9. And then we've got 4 cards for the next round, so not loads, but more than we could have had. This will then allow me to potentially put Spider-Man in. I don't really need to remove 4 threat from the thingy. I'm going to keep the jump and flip for next round in case I want it. And I'm going to put Spider-Man UK in. When he defends against an attack, you deal amount of damage to the attacking enemy equal to the number of web warrior cards you control. So you can attack and then take an attack and kill Rhino off. Now, based on this, I think we're going to beat level 1 Rhino quite quickly. So that's most really going to be quite interesting. And I'll go to level 2 where he gets a little bit harder. The Shocker, I think we should try and kill him. So if I attack with Spider-Man, this guy, I'll give him 1 damage, and that gives 1 damage to Spider-Man, who's nearly dead. Don't forget your consequential damage on here. And then Spider UK can attack for 2, giving him 2 damage, killing off the minion, which knocks him out. And then Ghost Spider can do 2 damage to Rhino, knocking him down to 11. And we've got one of these cards I can use. If I can prevent 2 damage, then I'll get to also remove 2 threat. I've stuck with the Ghost Spider stage, so we're sticking with attacking, full on attack. So we're getting 5 cards. We've got Parental Guidance, which is an event. If George Stace is in play, you attach 1 event from your hand, or discard pile face down to him. If he's not in play, you search your deck or discard pile for him and add him to your hand. We've got Spider-Man Miles Morales, so that team up card might have been good before, but it's too late. It's 4 cost. After you play him from your hand, you stun and confuse an enemy if you control at least 3 Web Warrior cards, which I do. So I could do that and try and get him in and stun and confuse, and that would like really mess up Rhino and make our life a lot easier. And then this What Doesn't Kill Me card, which is great, the heal 2 damage from your hero and then ready your hero. So we can do a lot of stuff really this next round coming up. But well, on exhaust, I'm going to defend with, oh, I don't know if I need to defend with Ghost Spider, because I've got this jump flip. I might as well keep Spider UK from getting damaged and just use the hero interrupt this round, pay for it with this. Ooh, if I pay with electric I get to remove threat from the main scheme, which will come on in a minute. But the only electrics I've got is this parental guidance or eat double energy, which I don't really want to spend. So I might not do that actually. I might just defend with Ghost Spider for my round, and then take one threat onto the main scheme. Attack of 2 plus 1, which is 3. But I've got 3 defense there. Therefore take no damage. Then I can take an encounter card, which is Treachery. When revealed, reveal your set aside Nemesis minion and put it into play, engage with you. Reveal the set aside side scheme and put it into play, and then shuffle the rest of the Nemesis encounter set into your encounter deck. So Ghost Spider, his Nemesis is the lizard, and it says when the villain begins, heal 1 damage from the lizard. And his side scheme comes on with 5 threat. Doesn't have anything else, but it says when the villain phase begins, heal 1 damage from each enemy. So it will heal Rhino and it will heal Lizard. So we kind of want to get rid of that. And then these 3 cards get shuffled into his deck. So I'll put that in there, and then just shuffle them around. So that's quite a nasty way to make life more difficult. Most probably the hardest thing that can happen in the solo game, I think, is getting that out. Got a 2-handed game, you can easily do 5 damage. But now we're going to have to deal with that for the rounds moving forward. And then just shuffle them randomly. That should give us a new encounter deck. So now our focus can kind of change, but you still want to be looking at your cards and learning what cards you've got. This alter ego card sounds really good and it sounds like it's going to help us a lot. So I kind of want to get that out. I'm not really going to be able to get Miles Morales out, I don't think. That needs to go back and discard as well, I forgot about that. Just need to go over here. Then we're looking at, well, this card is one of her main cards, I think, so I'm going to play it so that I can try and get George Stacy. So it says if it's not in play, search your deck and discard pile for him and add him to your hand. So he's not in play. I'm going to try and find him, see where he is. Then I'll shuffle the deck again. No. Let's see, where is he? Okay, so he's quite a way through. Wouldn't have got to him for a while. I don't think he's quite, oh, there he is, right at the bottom. So then he comes into my hand, and I can try and then get him out onto the table to help me build stuff. So he's quite a unique card. It says that any events attached to him can be played as if they're in your hand, and you can exhaust him to attach an event from your hand face down to a maximum of 3 cards. So you can attach events to him, and then it kind of is increasing your hand size in a way. It's a really cool kind of concept. So now that we've got him, I kind of want to play him and see what we can do to get him out. So I don't think I'll get Miles Morales out, sadly, which is annoying, but I want George Stacy to see how these cards work. Normally in a main game, I think I'd get Spider-Man out because he does stun and confuse, but I want to see how these cards play and interact more. So I'm going to pay with Spider-Man to get George Stacy out. Then I can exhaust George Stacy and get a card attached to him. I can only do 3 up to him. So I'm going to put him up here as if he's an ally. Now, that's going to make it slightly difficult to see maybe. But he's going to have an ally, and then under here I'll put any 3 cards I want to attach to him. I'm going to attach the jump flip to him, which is a 1-cost card. You pay for it with electric, then you remove 2 threats from the main scheme. And that allows me to then heal my character for 2 and then ready them with this double lightning card that I've got. So I can heal her for 2. Which knocks me to maximum of 10, so I can't obviously go above the 10. Up to 10, and then she's ready again to go. And with these 3 characters I can kill a lizard card, because if a lizard card comes out, that's normally quite bad. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to Spider-Man Hobby Brown is going to die, but he will do 1 damage. And it says when he leaves play, discard the top 3 encounter cards from the deck, and any boost cards, boost icons discarded this way give damage to the enemy. So 1, 2, 3. We can see there's 5 boost cards there, so that's done in 5 damage. Nice one, Spider-Man Hobby Brown. Don't know you very well, but you've just helped us a hell of a lot. There's 6 down. He's down to 6 health. Then we've got Ghost Spider, who can go down and do 2 damage, knocking him up to 3 damage. And I'm not going to add any more damage because Spider-Man UK is going to do an attack for 2, giving him 4. And therefore then killing off the lizard into the discard. It should be out of the game, hopefully. We still got the this interrupt when the villain phase begins, heal 1 damage from the enemy, so he's going to heal once, but not a big deal. And then that's all we can really do. Hopefully we'll get a response card or something now in our hand. We're going to get 5 cards. Cindy Moon, Pirouette and Punch, Web of Life, Bait and Switch. So, and then we've got the Ticket to the Multiverse card here as well, which is meant to be really good. I haven't used it yet. These all need to exhaust. And the Jump Flip Interrupt we've got there, which we could spend something for. Now, it's going to be hard to get this ticket to the multiverse out. If you got it straight away, it would be really useful, I think, to have it in your hand to start with. When you remove the ticket from the game, you discard your hands, shuffle your discard pile into your deck, and then draw up your hand size. Then you ready each Ghost Spider card you control. So obviously this card, that card, this George Stacy card. Stuff like this as well. The Pirouette and Punch is an interrupt when the card is revealed from the encounter deck. Then deal damage to the villain equal to 1 more than the number of boost icons on that card, and cancel that card when revealed effect. So that's kind of cool. So that could be a good event to attach to George Stacy maybe. And we've also got the Bait and Switch, which will remove 4th from the threat from the main scheme. But only from the main scheme, so we can't take it from this one. It's a bit annoying. And Silks only costs 2 to come in. She'll only do 2 damage, but after you play it from your hand, if you control another Web Warrior card, search your encounter deck for a Treachery and discard it. So that could be cool if you're looking through and then finding cards you don't want. You could get rid of them. So we've got some good cards there. And then we're on to his turn. So he's going to scheme for 1 onto his main threat. He's going to attack again. We're in main form. I wanted to defend. Defend for 3. Spend 1 to do this jump flip card, most probably. So that's an attack of 4. Defended for 3. I want to defend as well with this. So I'll pay 1 cost to get it done. Then attack you, remove 4 threat. I want the 4 threat gone if need it. The card results cost for the entity has a web warrior. So this Web of Life and Destiny, it says ignore the cost resource. The cost of the resource if you're a Web Warrior. So it doesn't really cost anything in response. After Web Warrior ally leaves play, choose a player and that player can draw 1 card. So that could be good to get out when you've got loads of Spider-Men or Web Warriors out on the board. At the minute I haven't got that, and I don't think I'm going to get that either, so I'm going to pay 1 to do this jump flip event, which will block 2 damage because I paid for it with an electric. I'll also get to remove 2 threat from the main scheme and block an extra 2 damage, meaning I take no damage. And then she's also then getting to restand because I've used an interrupt. Therefore I am back up and running pretty much for next round. We just got to take the encounter card, which is Hydro Bomber. So we get a minion attacking us who does 2 damage. And then we just get to move on. Now, it's so useful sometimes to look at if the villain or the minion goes first. On the back of the thing it says the villain and each engaged minion activates once per player in player order. So villain and minion. So I would say that means villain first, then minion. So if I was going to defend with Spider UK, I might want to defend later on because I'll get damage equal to the number of Web Warriors cards I control. I'll only get 2 damage here, see, so I could block out his attack for 2 and then kill him next round without having to do a lot. Or I could take the 2 attack and kill him either way. It could be useful if you need it. If you had more of these Web Warriors out, some of mine have died. So we're going to try and get Silk out, I think, because you can run the Web Warrior, it counts just because it's cool. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Ticket to the Multiverse out, but a lot of people say that this card is really, really good. But because I haven't got a lot of cards out on the table, I don't think it's going to be as useful. There's Pirouette Punch. When a card is revealed from the encounter deck, deal damage to the villain equal to 1 or more boost icons. That sounds quite good as well. Interrupt. So I'm going to pay you with the bait and switch. I don't need those 4 threat on. That gets Silk out, and also allows us to do a bit more damage with him before he dies. 3 damage instead of 2. And then when you do get him out, if you got a Web Warrior card, you search the encounter deck for a Treachery and discard it. So next one was a Treachery. There we go. That was easy. Discard that. Bit annoying because that would have given him 0 boost, but that's the way it is. Then we can decide what to do with our characters. So, I didn't do this before. I should have, when I did the interrupt, I should have exhausted that, which would have got me an extra card. So I should have 2 cards here, which is a bit annoying. This is an event. It says after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme. So I could use George Stacy to attach this event to him, and then I get extra cards. So we're going to have hopefully a lot of events up here that we can use with George Stacy, and then also events in our hands and things we can pay for, helping us to do loads of stuff. So she's really cool. Then we want to kill off the minion most probably, so might as well attack with Ghost Spider, kill him off. Choose to either take 2 damage or place 1 threat on the main scheme when it's been revealed, so I'll just take 1 on the main scheme. Silk can't do a lot. She's more of a useful kind of, but she's only going to do a little bit of damage. She'll do 1 damage, she'll take a damage and she'll do a damage, she'll knock her into 5. Then Spider UK, he's going to defend against the attack from Rhino because he'll die either way, and I'll do 3 that way instead of 2 now. So he's going to defend our attack next, and then we're going to exhaust. We get unexhausted. Got to upgrade. We've already got a Pirouette and Punch card in our hand, so we're getting Phantom Flip, which gives us the remove 5 threat from the main scheme if we need to, if we use a basic power. The What Doesn't Kill Me, that gives you 2 for heal and then restands. The villain attacks you and removes 4 threat from the main scheme. And the Plan B upgrade card, which if you put it under your hero, it deals 2 damage to an enemy. So you have to exhaust Plan B and discard a card from your hand at random, and then you get 2 damage on the enemy. That's quite a funky little thing with Spider Ham on it. And then we'll look through any of the cards. We've kind of seen a few of the others already now. We know what the Roulette and Punch looks like. We kind of want to get that into his hand. We want to do the bait and switch most probably. We would like to get the heal there. Yeah, the Pirouette and Punch might be a good one to do next. When a card is revealed from the encounter deck, damage the villain equal to 1 more than the number of boost icons on it, and cancel its when revealed ability, so that's good. So we'll have him doing 1 threat onto the main scheme. He's going to attack Ghost Spider, who's going to be defended by Spider UK, who will die, but he's defended for nothing. Therefore he's dead. Dead. Put 3 damage onto Rhino, knocking him to 2, nearly onto 2nd stage. Then we have Silk, who's going to come in and not be able to do that right now. So he's taking the damage, hasn't had an encounter card yet, so we get in Treachery. When revealed, the lizard attacks you. You cannot prevent attacks until after the attack itself. If no attack was made this way, you surge it. Yes, obviously the lizard's gone, so he can't attack, so we have to surge that card. Treachery, you've got Rhino attacks you. If a character is damaged by this attack, that character is stunned. So we want to kind of block out this somehow. So we had this card, the cancels the when revealed effect. So we want to play the Pirouette and Punch, which is when it's revealed from the encounter deck, revealed damage to the villain equal to 1 more than the number of boost cards on that card, so that's 1, so he's going to get 2 damage, and it cancels the effect, so it's going to cost me 2, so I'm going to have to spend 2 of these. I don't think the Plan B doesn't look brilliant to me, but maybe you like it. And I like the heal 2 and the other one, so I'm going to get rid of bait and switch and the Plan B to do the Pirouette and Punch. So I'm going to end up doing 2 damage to Rhino. He's going to end up dying from his own encounter, which is quite funny. And then we go to stage 2. When revealed, search the encounter deck and discard power for the breaking and taking side scheme, and then put that into play, and then you shuffle the encounter deck. So I'll look for discards in case it's come out and I haven't noticed it. No, it hasn't come out yet, so I'm gonna have to find it in here. I don't know. Nope. It's gonna be right at the bottom, isn't it? As per normal. Upside down for some reason. Breaking and taking, so that'll come out as a side scheme, and then all these will get shuffled back together. And it comes out with 2 on it. When revealed, place an additional 1 threat per hero, so that'll be 3. And it gives us an extra encounter card, which is lucky we've just finished our encounter phase. So that's going to have 3 threat on it. I kind of want to get rid of that if we can. 3 threat is not good. So he's there. And we did an interrupt card as well, so we got to draw an extra card for this round ready. Which means we've got a discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until you discard the treachery, reveal that treachery and deal 5 damage to the villain. So he started on 15. That might be useful to do that in a minute. Costs nothing, but I can't pay for one of these if I haven't got that out there. So this event for Phantom Flip costs 2. After Ghost Spy uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme. So that might be useful to do. I'll put it with George Stacy. He's now got 2 Phantom Flips with him. I can't do the heal 2, I don't need to anyway, and there's no point. Might as well play this event for the return, the favour. Discard cards from the top of the encounter deck till you discard a treachery, reveal that treachery. That's an attachment. That's an attachment. That's another lizard fella. Oh man, they've not shuffled any other lizard guys. Minion, treachery. So we've got, when revealed, you're confused. If you're already confused, this card gains surge, so I'm not, but I'll take it. Confused meaning we can't do any thwart. And then he gets 5 damage, so we've knocked him to 10 straight away. With 1 card. That's a third of his life gone. Then we're going to do some attacking maybe with these guys and just might keep Silk to block out some stuff, so I'll attack for 2, knocking him down to 8. And as you can see, as we're going along, we're still looking at what we can do, and we know the fact that some of our cards are better when you've got more Web Warrior cards out. Constantly trying to think about what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, what her cards offer, how you get these up here, how you're going to pay for them next round. Then we're going to have, also keep an eye on how many cards you're going through. As you can see, we've got not a lot of cards left. 8, 5, 9, 10. Kind of keep these things in mind as you're going through. Once you get through your deck, you have to shuffle your deck and give yourself an encounter card straight away. Once you go through this encounter deck, then you have to give yourself a boost card onto the main scheme, so you get more threat coming out quicker. Silk is going to block and not kill herself, so we don't die. This might be a good card to keep. What doesn't kill me, heal 2 damage from your hero, and then ready the hero. So I'll keep all of them for now. Then unexhaust everyone. George Stacy can stand up. And our upgrade. Then we've got 1 card. We need 4 more. Got another plan B. We've got return the favour, which does 5 damage. Web binding, which sounds cool. This is the one we haven't come up across yet. So it says requirement: you've got to play with a science resource. While paying for this card, spend the list of resources. When an enemy would activate, cancel the activation. If a minion's activation was cancelled this way, you deal 4 damage to that minion. So that's really good. So if we had any minions out against us now, you could kill it pretty much and stop the enemy from activating. That sounds really, really powerful. I don't think there's many of those. I don't think we've had many of those, and I don't think there'll be many left, but that's really awesome. Got another green jump flip card here. When you take any amount of damage for Rent 2, later at science, and you take 2 off the main scheme. So we've got some good stuff there. He's again going to scheme once, which is getting us to 3 now, and we've got to keep an eye on we can only have 7. Then he's going to attack, but Silk's going to block the damage, so she's going to take 2 plus 2, 4. She's definitely dead. A bit of overkill there. She's been smashed to bits. Don't know why I've got this separate pile over here. I don't know why I've got 2 piles. Discard. And then we're looking at taking an event card as well. And we get an extra event card, encounter card even, because we are Getting ruined. Oh, here we go. Reveal your set aside enemy universe. Shuffle the rest of your cards. No. I'm pretty sure this can only come out once per game, so I'm going to just surge it. I'm tough. Rhino gives a tough status card. If he's already got one, he gets surge. He didn't have one, but now he's tough, so if you attack him, he won't take damage. And then this attaches to Rhino. When Rhino attacks, the attack gains overkill. Excess damage to an ally would then be dealt to you at the end of the attack. So he's not only getting +3 attack, he's getting that. Will carry on and attack anyone else. So his attacks now are ridiculous. He's tough, so you can't do much damage to him. You want to hit him for 1 or something to get rid of that card, and then hit him for more. But he's also got +3 on his attacks, and you get overkill. So even if you block with someone else, it's going to give you loads of damage. And it's getting 6 plus whatever boost cards you're adding onto that. So you could end up with 8 or 9 in the damage, which is ridiculous. So this isn't an easy level to start with, and it's a good place to start because it gives you a bit of difficulty as well. So therefore this web binding might come in really useful now to block out his next activation, so he doesn't kill us and do loads of damage. And then we had both of our encounter cards, so we're back to me playing again. So because she's confused, she can still attack, but she only does 2 damage. If there's an easy way to get 2 damage or 1 damage, I'd try and do it, but I haven't got any cards in my hand. So what I really want to do is play this to get rid of the tough card on him, and then try and do some damage. The 5 damage is a good one to do because it kind of will take him down quite a bit. Obviously gives us an encounter card, but it's worth doing, I think. I'm going to deal him 5, get an encounter card that is a treachery card, so we've got treachery next one, reveal it. Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains surge. So he's getting 4 damage back, which is annoying because we're going to do 5 damage to him, so he's losing 1 health. Knocking him to 7. And he should have had 1 health extra from this side scheme as well, the regeneration research, which is a bit annoying. We want to try and take off some threat if we can. I haven't got a lot of stuff that can do that. After Ghost Spider uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme, so I should have done this. So I'll spend that. I just did a basic one before. I'll pay for it using this, and maybe the web binding might be a good one because I'm not going to get that out. Oh no, I don't want to use that really. Could do with an extra card. Oh, I did use this actually. I should have an extra card. Give me 2 web bindings, so I won't need 2 of them. So I'll play for the Phantom Flip with both of those. Removing 5 threat from a scheme. I think we need to get rid of this heal thing. Stop him healing. Then we want to pay for something else. Web binding if we can. When an enemy would activate, cancel the activation. If an enemy and minion's activation would cancel this way, you get 4 damage to a minion. So I want to pay for that with these 2, which will put it on him, so he can't activate next round. So my turn would end, I would get to unexhaust. I'll get my 5 cards, so I get another Phantom Flip, a Ghost Kick. It does, after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, deals 6 damage. And we got Plan B, and then we've got another Ghost Kick. Oh wow, they're both really good. I haven't seen this yet. So this does 6 damage, which is really useful. After you do a basic power, deal 6 damage to an enemy, max per 1, basic power per use. So if you can get her to restand and do an interrupt or a response after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, you can then potentially do it twice. Here, response after Ghost Spider uses a basic power, remove 5 threat from a scheme. So yeah, you could most probably get that done twice. I've still got 1 card in my deck, which is handy because hopefully I'll be able to attack him. It would then go to him, but when an enemy is activated, he would cancel it, so he doesn't get to be activated. And of course, the activation I think replies to the whole thing. Actually, you still place the main threat, and then as you see on your card, it says the villain and each engagement activates once per player. So he activates as in attack or thingy, so he's not going to attack, which dodges this. Then he's going to give me an encounter card, and we resolve that as per normal, and then it goes to player stage. So I get an encounter card, which is a treachery. Ah, okay, because in villain, if you're in hero form, the villain attacks you. So brilliant, I get attacked, but I need to do a basic attack and I need to do one of these ghost kicks to kill him, so I can't do that, and I need some resources. I'm gonna look if I've got anything else that can defend. I can't, so I'm gonna get hit for 6 plus whatever this is, 2, so 8. That is brutal. Luckily we're at full health, so that's knocked me from 10, sorry, down to 2 health. So he can really do damage. You've got to be really careful on this level, obviously, as you're learning the game as well, or learning the characters. It can be hard to get used to this type of damage and negating it. And then of course we're going to do my turn then, where he's going to be attacked for 2 by a ghost spider. He'll knock it to 6. And then we have this ghost kick card that we haven't seen yet. That's only just coming out of hand, but it would have been useful earlier for more damage. So we'll play any of these 2 cards really to do the 6 damage we require to kill him off. So that's basically how I go through and play and learn a new character. Obviously I still want to win the game, but if I see a card that I don't really understand or I want to play, like I did earlier, like this George Stacy card, I nearly spent it on something. But I thought in a booklet, in the things I've read, and when I looked through it, he seems quite an important card for her. So he really like gives you a hand of 8 almost once you get cards into his event deck. If you can get 3 cards over here, I think is really powerful. You're technically holding 3 other cards then, and you've got 5 cards or 6 cards in hand to spend. I didn't really flip it too much because I didn't need to, because it wasn't too hard of a campaign. But if you flip over, then you can shuffle the Ticket to the Multiverse card as well, already George Stacy. So then you can get to do more stuff. Obviously that'll be more integral at the higher levels. So that's just a quick way of getting to learn the character and some of their cards and seeing how they play. It's by no means going to teach you everything you need to know. One playthrough is definitely not enough to learn a character inside out, especially not a character that's got cards such as these. Really cool, interesting, tricky cards to play. So, like I say, I didn't use the card, the Ticket into the Multiverse. That's meant to be brilliant. So I most probably should have done that. I most probably missed a trick there. But like, I've seen a lot of people say it's brilliant, really good. So again, pick up on those type of things when you're playing. Think about what you could have done, which cards you want to play, how the character plays, how you want to play them. Obviously the base deck here, as you can see with the greens, comes with protection. But you might think, oh actually, she's not doing a lot of damage, which is kind of what I was thinking here and there in the middle of the game. Not doing loads of damage. Maybe it'd be fun to add in one of my aggression sets or an aggression deck from one of the other heroes that's already pre-built. So get maybe She-Hulk or someone who's got another aggression deck. Swap the aggression decks into instead for the green cards, and then see how you feel that plays. There's loads of ways you can change things up for yourself, and then obviously you can make your own decks as well and put your own cards in if you really want to get deep into it. So I hope that was useful. Thanks for watching. And the last card was another ghost kick, so we nearly missed out on 18 damage there at the end. Could have killed us. Look at the draw. So if you enjoyed that video, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye out because we're going to have more content coming shortly. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon.